Hi, I'm Tom Schaffer, and I'm sitting in my office here at US Aquatics and talking with Gene Johnson, and just thought I'd give a little background on how US Aquatics and Tom Schaffer got to Delano, Minnesota. So, started out, I was born in Bismarck, North Dakota. At an early age of around 4, my father bought the bowling alley in Little Falls, Minnesota, moved the whole family from Bismarck down to Little Falls, and he became sick, discovered he had cancer, and my mother wished that we could move back to Bismarck, so we did that. We moved back to Bismarck when I was just about 6 years old, and spent the next 30 years in Bismarck, and moved to Minnesota when I was 36 in 1987. And prior to that, I received a degree in architecture from North Dakota State University. Received that in 1974, and had a job lined up with an architectural firm in Bismarck. And I interviewed and got that job position during my Christmas vacation, my last year in college. And I then reported to work after Memorial Day weekend of '74 to discover that the architect didn't have much work, and offered me to stay on as employment at half wages, which just wasn't going to cover expenses at the time. So I went and called a bunch of my college mates that graduated a year ahead of me, and found one that had a job that he just landed with Miller Architects in Minot, and said, you know, if you want a job right away, you could go to work for where I'm currently working. And I said, well, what's he doing? He said, well, I'm a draftsman for a pool company. And I didn't know if I really wanted to get into the pool business, and assumed that they were talking about backyard pools, but I did go into interview and found out that they did commercial pools, like high schools, YMCA's, that type of pool construction, commercial market. And so I took a job there, and actually I've been in the pool industry for 33 years. It's an industry that kind of grabs you. Once you jump into the water, you can't hardly get out. So that's what I've been doing. And in '87, I was trying to launch a consulting aquatic company, and it was pretty tough to do out of Bismarck, North Dakota. So I moved down here in '87 and started my new career as an aquatic consultant. Actually commuted from Minneapolis to Bismarck for 10 months until we sold our house in Bismarck, and I moved my entire family down here. So I've been in Minnesota with my family since '88, and my youngest son, Judy and my youngest son, Mike, was graduating from high school in 2000, and so with the kids all growing up and us becoming empty nesters, we wanted to find a place in the country to live, and drove around looking for quite a while and discovered Delano and decided we were home. So we bought a 40-acre farm just 2.5 miles south of the Dairy Queen here in Delano, and had a farmhouse on it. And we closed on that property April 26th of 2000, and on May 13th my oldest son got married. So it worked out that he actually, with his new wife, moved into the existing farmhouse that was actually owned by the Yanni brothers, and so they moved in that, and my wife and I, Judy, built a new house out back. And in 2001 we found an office building downtown Delano. It was the old laundromat that was converted, and decided to move our company out here as well. So we moved our household from Chanhassen to Delano, and we moved the company from Plymouth out to Delano. And so we're doing really good in the aquatic industry. We've had the most successful year we've had since I started US Aquatics. We're very busy doing a lot of private sector water parks, and still doing a lot of public sector works for parks and recreation programs, YMCA's, high schools, universities, and that. And then about 2 years ago, we do have 4 sons, and after seeing 3 of them get married and not having the facilities to really put up relatives in hotels and have a wedding reception here in Delano. I was complaining a bit to the city council and the mayor about it, and they said, you know, if you think having a hotel in town is such a great idea, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? So I did that. I and my two sons, and with the help from Kurt Christensen, our partner, we are developing a hotel for Delano, Minnesota, and we did sign a franchise. It is going to be a choice hotel and resort, and the banner on it will be a Comfort Inn and Suites, and we hope to be breaking ground on that yet this fall. The plans are about 95% complete, and we have gone through planning and zoning with the city, and so we're well on our way to getting Delano a hotel.